Welcome to my channel. I'm Gary Wiryawan, and today I want to talk about this little guy right here, the Insta360 Go 2. Let's go! Before we continue with today's video, if you are a current subscriber of my channel, welcome back. I hope that you will enjoy this video, and thank you always for your support for my channel. If you are a new viewer of this channel, also welcome. I hope that you will also enjoy the video. If you are into photography, micro four thirds, filmmaking, video, as well as music, home recording, guitar, rock, metal, I do those kind of stuff in my channel, so please consider subscribing to my channel down below. So let's continue with today's video. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about this little guy right here, the Insta360 Go 2. So this video is not gonna be a full-blown technical review of the Insta360 Go 2. There are already so many other YouTube videos that already done that, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I want to talk a little bit about my experience of using the Insta360 Go 2 for my needs, why I choose the Insta360 Go 2 rather than the competition, and also how the Insta360 Go 2 can add more value into my photography and filmmaking camera gear. So now let's start by talking a little bit about what this guy is for those who do not know. So the Insta360 Go 2, this small guy right here, is basically an action travel camera. So because it's an action camera, it is mainly a video-centric camera, but it can also take stills picture. Like many other action cameras, it has relatively wide focal length, so it is a very wide angle kind of camera. It is also submersible in water, and it is also weatherproof. The Insta360 Go 2 can be used by itself like this, or you can put it inside its cradle and use it as a way to operate the camera, or use it as a remote so you can wirelessly operate the camera from far away. You will still need the cradle to charge the Insta360 Go 2, as well as to attach tripod or other accessories right here. The camera shoots video up to 1440p, not to 4K, but it's slightly higher than 1080p. Because the camera is very small, there's no way you can insert an SD card or micro SD in this camera. However, it has internal storage of up to 32 GB. Now, what sets this camera apart from the competition is the fact that it has really great stabilization that is software based that you can apply later on your phone or your computer. Speaking of phone and computer, you can also use them to apply other effects besides stabilization. So this is a really software based kind of camera. So the way to operate this camera, because there's no visible button or dedicated button or anything, there's actually a hidden button right here that you can use to record video or take pictures depending on what you set the button to do. You can also do double press for a second option of shooting modes. You can also use the cradle. It comes with two additional buttons, so you can use the first button to record or to take picture, and the second button to change mode or just to go around the menu or the settings. If you use the cradle, then it will have a little screen right here that will tell you what shooting modes that you are on, what kind of stabilization that you are on, or the crop effect or whatever. But it doesn't show you the viewfinder, so you cannot really see what you are framing your camera at. Speaking of the cradle, it's not the only accessory that comes in the box. It also comes with different kinds of mounting options and accessories that you can use to help to easily attach your camera anywhere. You can use this necklace, attach the camera here, put on your necklace and get a really cool POV kind of shots. Or you can use this stick anywhere kind of accessories and just stick it anywhere. Or you can use this guy right here and attach it to your head. So the options for attaching your Insta360 Go 2 is almost endless. Now, I want to talk a little bit about why I chose the Insta360 Go 2 over the competitions. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I prefer anything that is smaller, lighter, and easier to carry around over bigger things. I use micro four thirds camera, as some of you might already know, because it is smaller than full frame cameras, even though the body size is almost the same, but the lenses are inevitably smaller. It is important for me because I travel a lot and I don't want to weight myself down with too many gear that are too heavy. And this Insta360 Go 2 right here is very small compared to the other competitions. I understand that there are new GoPros, GoPro 10, and then there's also the new DJI Action 2 and so much other different kind of action cameras that are as capable if not better than the Insta360 Go 2. And although they can produce image quality that is significantly better compared to the Insta360 Go 2, none of them are as small as this guy right here. Also, I already have my primary camera system, the Micro Four Thirds camera system for all of my main photography and filmmaking needs. So the Insta360 Go 2 is just an addition to that already existing kit to add more value into my production. So I don't really need it to be the highest quality among the action cameras that are available right now. I just wanted to add more value and be able to take a different kind of video and pictures that I otherwise couldn't take using my Micro Four Thirds camera gear. Speaking of other cameras, I haven't really tried any other action camera besides the Insta360 Go 2. I never tried GoPro before, I never tried those kind of DJI Action cameras before. However, I have this guy right here, the DJI Pocket 2, which is also a kind of prosumer kind of camera. You know, it's a little bit more advanced than your regular consumer camera. And this is my dedicated travel vlogging camera. It is so good for that purpose. And I've compared the Insta360 Go 2 with the DJI Pocket as well as my Micro Four Thirds camera and my smartphone on the other video. And you can check that video right here if you want to learn more about that. But that's a little bit of the context of my knowledge about action cameras and this kind of camera. And now let's continue about how I use the Insta360 Go 2 for my needs. So as I mentioned earlier, I travel a lot. At least before the pandemic hits, I travel to many countries and I do it quite frequently every year. And I plan to use the Insta360 Go 2 especially for traveling to record clips of B-rolls, just a quick video. And yeah, I've been using this camera on a recent travel just a few weeks ago, and you can check that video, the vlog right here. And I feature a lot of the clips from the Insta360 Go 2 for my B-rolls. First thing that really stood out to me when I use this for traveling is the stabilization. It's so good even though it's not using real gimbal like the DJI Pocket 2. This uses software stabilization, but it's just so smooth, so stable, so clean, and I just really like it. It's very useful for travel. If you don't want to carry gimbals or stabilization kind of device, then this is really, really useful. So I'm not going to make a comparison of image quality between the Insta360 Go 2 and the Micro Four Thirds camera or the DJI Pocket 2. When I'm traveling, what I do instead of comparing, I blend them together. I make them complement each other. So if I want to use a tighter close-up shots, then I use the Micro Four Thirds camera. If I want to do a little bit of talking head shots for the vlog footage, then I use the DJI Pocket 2. And if I want a wide angle footage of the scenery, then I use the Insta360 Go 2. I mainly set the Insta360 Go 2 to 1440p at 50 frames per second so that I can slow it down a little bit and get a very smooth slow motion kind of B-roll footage. Also, because this camera is submersible, I can use the Insta360 Go 2 to record a little bit of swimming action or just put it underwater and try to get a very different kind of perspective and just do something that either the Micro Four Thirds or the DJI Pocket 2 cannot really do. Now let's quickly talk about the accessories that I mentioned earlier, the necklace pendant thingy, this sticky mount and the head mounting option. When I travel, I ended up not using any of them. Maybe I use a little bit of the pendant, but that's it. I don't really stick it anywhere and I just mainly use it handheld like this, just pressing the button and aiming the camera where I want to point it at. Or I use it on the cradle if I want to just simply get better grip and bigger button. Also, on my recent trip, I did not use this to take still pictures at all. This is exclusively for video. Also, I did not use this to record myself talking like a vlog footage right now. I use the DJI Pocket 2 for that, as I mentioned earlier, simply because there's no way to attach external microphone to the Insta360 Go 2. And although the internal microphone sounds fine, I always prefer an external microphone to at least improve the sound quality a little bit. And also, I do not put this inside my bag. I always put it inside my pants pocket because this is just so small. This is just as big as your iPhone's AirPod, and it's just so convenient to put it inside my pocket and grab it and open it up and record. It's just really fast. So now let's go over some things that I really like from the Insta360 Go 2. First, as I mentioned, and as you can see right here, the small size, it's really awesome. It makes it very easy to travel with. Also, it is very easy to use. No bells and whistles here. Just press one button to record and press it again to turn it off. So convenient. Stabilization is also crazy, at least in normal lighting condition. As I mentioned earlier, it is very game-changing, very stable, very smooth. This is clearly the winner when it comes to stabilization. Also, the fact that this is water submersible is really great because you can now use it for, swimming action kind of videos and that kind of stuff, as I mentioned earlier. Also, I really enjoy how I can use software to modify the footages coming out of the Insta360 Go 2. I can apply post-crop, I can apply stabilization and other kind of different effects on this software on my phone or in the computer. And that really makes it very convenient because if I screw up during the recording, I can kind of fix it in post a little bit as long as I point it to the right direction. Speaking of using your phone, the ability to transfer your footage into your phone, edit it and share it directly from your phone is really convenient. It means that your footage, whatever you are recording on the Insta360 Go 2, can be shared into your YouTube or your Instagram in just few taps in your phone. Last but not least, image quality. Although this doesn't come in 4K resolution, I think the 1440p footages are more than enough for my needs. It's so crispy, it's so good looking. You can check these b-rolls that I'm sharing with you right now and tell me if that's not good enough because for me it's more than good enough and I really enjoy looking at them and they just look fine to me. Now that you know all of the good things that I like about the Insta360 Go 2, I also want to share to you all the negative things that I found from the Insta360 Go 2 so that you can be more aware of them so that you can fit the camera better into your own context of shooting video. First, let's talk about the storage. Although I'm really grateful that it comes with a built-in internal storage so that I don't have to worry about SD cards, it also creates its own problem. 32 GB is not that large and even for a 1440p, it fills up really quick. So you have to transfer your files pretty often to your phone or to your laptop. Next, let's talk about stabilization. Although stabilization in good lighting condition is almost excellent, it is very good in my opinion. When it comes to lower light situation, it struggles a little bit. So it can create a little bit of weird artifact and the stabilization is just not as smooth and it's a little bit glitchy and you need to be aware of that. So now let's talk a little bit about ergonomics. So the button. Right here, it's a very good place to put a button, but the problem is the button is very easy to press so that I oftentimes accidentally press it without me knowing and it records something inside my pocket and that just fills up the internal storage quickly and that becomes a problem. Next, I love to shoot from the cradle because it has its own dedicated record button and I can also see which shooting mode that I am in so that I don't accidentally record something that I don't want. However, the problem with using the cradle is that it connects wirelessly to the camera and it takes a while, a good few seconds to connect to the camera. And if you're planning to do this, I think you should know that because potentially you can miss your shot. So that is all for the negatives of the Insta360 Go 2, and now we're at the end of the video, so I wanna rephrase some key points about the Insta360 Go 2. So in conclusion, the Insta360 Go 2 is a very interesting little camera that I really enjoy shooting with. And again, I want to emphasize this. This is not a full spec, full-blown photography and video camera. It's not gonna be your main primary camera system. It's just not gonna do that. This is designed more to complement your mirrorless system if you already have that, or your smartphone. So this is kind of a supplemental camera. Now, if you already understand the fact that this is a supplemental camera, as well as if you already understand the kind of strengths that it has, as well as the limitation that it has, I think the Insta360 Go 2 is a really good option for a supplemental camera, action camera for travel video and that kind of stuff. If compared with the GoPro or the DJI Action or any other action cameras, I think this really makes a good value, especially for my needs. Again, I really think that travel is where it really shines, the stabilization and just how small and easy to carry it is, combined with the more than good enough image quality. I think this is really a compelling little package. And that concludes this video today. So that is all for today's video. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you really enjoyed this video, please comment down below what is your thought about the Insta360 Go 2, or if you have any other kind of action camera, supplemental camera to support your full-blown mirrorless or DSLR camera system. Also, don't forget to support my small channel by liking this video, sharing this video and subscribing to my channel down below. It will really help me to motivate me to keep making this video. Alright, thank you and goodbye.